All right, welcome. Thursday evening, 7 p.m. We are live, Liberty Ed Academy and Jack McCaig. I am Tim Judge, your host and producer for the show. I'm going to tell you now that things are a little glitchy with these buttons. So if I can't get to your question or bring your comment up, I'll just shout it out to Jack and get it done. But it seems like these things are not coming up the way I want to. Here's one. All right,
That's
that's
good.
working.
Well, over on
Anyway.
Instagram, they can't hear me, so we're having a great night here. The Duddles. What?
Batting 1,000.
Oh man.
Um, so some of these buttons are working, but the other ones are, have a life of their own.
Yeah.
Anyway, how you doing, Jack? How's your week? Um,
Tumultuous, but I'm glad I made it here. To uh, Florida has been quite a something, and oh man, it's tough getting on this show. Uh, yeah. So
well,
so
the name of this one is Trust the Free Stuff. I should have named it Back to School. I was just talking to him. I'm rushing around and I'm thinking about all the things I got to do to get my kids back in gear. And but I was thinking about all the free stuff. My two boys just got new phones and all this kind of stuff, and I was thinking about the free phones and all the other stuff that can be done through the trust. But it's also back to school time, so and that's hitting the books, getting studying up on everything we have to trust. Maybe next week will be back to school.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fortunately, I'm teaching at a school, but I'm not in that school system with those calendar days, so I
yeah,
don't officially know every one of them dates like you do, off the top of your head exactly as I
yeah.
used to when mine were smaller. So yeah, no, I hear you. But we are doing something this weekend. Is Memorial Day, and man, such an interesting thing happened, right? I mean, not interesting, whatever word.
Yeah.
Something happened. We're having a pardon me, Memorial Day sale here at
Labor
Liberty
Day, Labor
Academy.
Day,
Uh, what is it? Labor Day?
Labor Day.
Labor Day. Oh yeah, that's right. Labor Day.
Memorial Day starts the
No,
summer. Labor
you're
Day
right.
is
They got it backwards. M and then L. Yeah, Labor Day. Labor Day. So yeah, if your Labor Days aren't, you know, why are you giving some of your labor to the government? Come on, people.
yeah,
They stole everything from us. You know what I'm saying? Even your thoughts. You think your thoughts are like, no, that's what they told me happened, so it happened. They tell everybody in school, so it totally happened. They stole their thoughts too, not just the land and the houses and the money and the all the good stuff, but also like your thoughts. So it's been quite an interesting week for me. Man, it just seems to be accelerating. But listen, like Tim here and so many other people, you're working hard out there, myself included. And do you really think the government deserves anything? Well, how's it a free country if we're going to pay all this money? You have your credit card is not even maxed out apparently, and it's a 35 billion. I mean trillion. Sorry,
yeah.
it's a 35 trillion. How you literally print money and you have the biggest by far military. You have the largest ego on earth. You know what I'm saying? Like uh what's I would used to think, what's the worst thing someone could say about someone? Is like you could call them a military superpower. That would be the most crushing uh evil statement to make about someone. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, that's a much better marketing plan than dictatorship. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Well, I I would I respectfully disagree. What I would like to say is there's a Jordan Peterson is a guy who talks a lot online, and he said you want to have the strength to do all those things and not do it, right? You want to say you're the military superpower of the world, but not flex the muscle, right? I think the ego of the United States is the fact, or the Fed really, is the fact that they just print money and do what they want and just keep spending. And, I know most of it goes towards being a military superpower, but the ego of printing your own money and saying, don't worry about the bills. Our people will pay the taxes and pay the bill. That's the ego that I don't like. I don't. I like being protected. I like the security that the armed forces provide us, but the fact that they want to just keep printing the 35 trillion, like you said, or printing and loaning it to other countries without anybody else's opinion, they're just doing it, is crazy.
Yeah. If I had a button, I'd murder everyone as a government employee. Boop. No, no, I'm
Well,
just saying I
retire
would
them. Let's
instantly
say.
because this is slavery, man. This is slavery.
Yeah,
Them saying, "How can you print money and then we owe money? You owe money." Like the whole thing is a scam and they lied to us since birth. I just they don't have a redeeming quality. I don't feel safe from them. Here's the dividing line of someone that would say that to me is you ain't been in a cage. That's all I'm saying. You've
yeah,
been a human in a cage. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. And so when you realize you're an animal to them, uh now they have no redeeming qualities and no, I would throw them, behead them on the nightly news myself every night, no problem.
yeah,
For what they done. I don't see anything that but they're playing their role, you know what I'm saying,
yeah.
for as God intended
Hmm.
them to do in their evil ways. So, to see if anyone will uh respond. you
Right,
know.
right.
So far, there's no human response that I've seen any proof of, except here at Liberty Aid Academy. I really haven't seen it in the human response. Yes, there are eloquent speakers that have done absolutely zero, like Jordan Peterson. No proof of anything. So I never listen to a human that doesn't have proof as far as would I do what they say? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I look at them like as a negative barometer out there in the media. Like, if they're telling us this, that means that because this is the way you've lied in the past. That's whoever they're promoting out there. That's always what I'm looking at because they never have proof, and that's been a big theme lately in the classroom. Is hey, I'm going to try this. It's like it's promoted
right.
online and
Hmm.
has thousands of views and has no proof. What if you're asking my opinion? Why would you waste your time on something like that? It's like someone talking. There's nothing there.
Pauletta
Paulette,
here.
thanks for the support, Pauletta. Your support is really appreciated. It really is. Um, so that's what they're up to, and that's where we're trying to help people out on Labor Day. The government isn't helping anyone. They spend more money on the marketing to pretend they're helping than helping. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? It's like, we know you stole everything. You got all the choice piece of property. You got all the yachts. Uh, you eat no problem. We know. So it doesn't matter how you market it. We all noticed.
yeah,
That's it. You can't. Your marketing isn't going to make us feel bad that we owe you money on our credit cards and stuff when you stole every single asset. And we're supposed to have a job if we do. Blah blah blah. I don't think that's not a fair way to treat human beings and then put them in a cage when they don't follow along. Yeah, that's going to have a backlash like it is. This got people not trusting anything they say, and so that's why they come to Liberty and Academy after all the smoke clears and they, have all their money stolen, their house stolen, or they go to cage and all the horrible things that this government and every government, just like every other government, there's no difference, does to everyone. Then they play their war games as if wars are real. They're all fake. Like there's a difference. There's central bankers like
hmm,
who tell every government what to do. You know what I mean? Like the bankers tell everyone we have the money and we tell you what to do, you do it. We pay you and you do it. That's it. And they have the off books now, uh, e-coin, Bitcoin, whatever. That's how they just pay for their evil deeds off the books. You know what I'm saying? So it's 34 trillion on the books, but let's call it 100, 500, 1,000 trillion off the books. You know what I mean? Like it's insane what they get up to. So no, I don't have no respect for what they do at all.
hmm,
Uh, you know, this is a way if you actually had a government that cared about us people would be, hey, we're showing you everything what we're doing. Go to government.gov and look at all
Right.
the cameras at the different locations of what we're doing as your employees. We would be watching you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It wouldn't be the other. You're watching us. What? You're supposed to be the manager. We're watching you. We pay you to clean the streets and do all this, so we don't pay you to watch us.
Right.
What you?
There was actually a guy, and this is a sad ending to it, but there was an organization called Open the Books, and I think he was a senator somewhere, somebody, but he ran an organization called Open the Books, and was outing all these, expenditures that were just ridiculous, and over time, and he's just bringing it all out, and sadly, he died for unknown reasons.
Oh, well, that's shocking.
It's
That's a
it's
shocking
it's
element of that story, huh?
it's another one of those things that uh
It's another
you
one
know
of those characters that never actually lived, and they made up a story in the news, and it's like, if you ever say anything against us, disappear. You know what I mean?
yep.
Like they don't disappear anybody here because everyone's so programmed that you're going to get disappeared that nobody does anything ever. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's the way it rolls. It's just that's what I'm saying. They spend more on their marketing, their BS stories like that. School shooting, play. You know what I mean? Like they're all their stuff they get up to. That's got to be all the on the books budget is like that's our marketing budget. The rest of it we do off the books and eCoin now. No, we don't even. That's just our. We have to pay through the books everybody on Madison Avenue to keep this thing rolling. What and NASA. But anyway, that's the government, and how can we trust them? That's what this trust is about. There's a Christian loophole. Sign the trust, and the IRS and the government recognizes it. Why they're using this loophole that came up. This comes up all the time, but it came up this week in the classroom, our online private forum. I'm the moderator. You get help in there if you're in there. And so it was like, oh, this is going on, that's going on. Like, no, here's the guy we trust. Here's the videos. What's going on? Here's the way they pulled the scam. I was like, oh, you pulled a scam using a trust. So you trusted who's that lying entity who can't actually say the name of? That's not hard to figure out. You all trusted, right? The devil. And so they have to make the opposite available to us, a Christian loophole, which is I figured out and copyrighted. Oh, you can sign with Jesus Christ. You can sign with God. Oh, hey, that's cool. You don't have to be evil. That is nice. And still the same rules apply to you. No paying the IRS and no reporting the IRS. It's like a church, but you don't have to be in a religion. It's freedom of religion. In other words, you could choose to be with God on your own. That's acceptable here in America.
Mhm.
And a real loophole, a Christian loophole. I've made a Christian loophole. They had it in the code already. No one was using it except for them. And it was not a Christian loophole. It was the
Mhm.
opposite loophole. So I'm like, oh, if you could do that, you could do this. So this has been working for everyone for so many years now. So no problems for anyone. I'm here live. Here we are every week. Hey, proof again. Like, look at the videos. I don't think that's real. Like, okay, let me keep going live for super many years. I'm still here saying ding round 1,200,000. It's like, no, I'm still alive and it's still legal and they're still doing the exact same thing. They don't have to change because everyone's like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we need this loophole to put a roof over our heads, to, pay the bills and so on. As a
And get
Christian,
and get free stuff.
and get free stuff. That's what it's about. That's the hack. They listen, they got the whole place for free. So
Right.
work for them. And they legally did this to get the entire every piece of land, every scrap of land is theirs, right?
Right.
Someone, oh, I don't know, mortgage. Yeah, well, I bet you owe some taxes on that. Like, who is free, really? No, I really have those only methods. So no one's fully free like that. It don't happen. This is the only way to make it happen because they did it to steal all the land. So it's like, oh, you mean I could carve a little tiny little teeny little piece of your gigantic pie and you won't mind. They're like, we mind, but okay,
Yeah.
fine. If you found out and follow the law, you can do it. But yeah, we mind, but we're doing this, so we have to allow you to do it. That's it. That's all.
Right.
That's all. So it's not like they want to give up, one grain of sand. But they took all the grains of sand this way. So okay, we have to not change the rules because these rules are supporting the entire system. The God we trust, every dollar is. I mean, I'm sorry, every currency is tied to the dollar. So the slave system of the God we trust is ubiquitous. There are no countries. Countries are fake. They're just doing, hey, we all sold our soul and we got all the best houses and the best jet skis and all the, I don't know, trash that breaks in 5 minutes from China. I don't know what do you want on that? You want more of that stuff? I don't even want the stuff I have of that stuff. What are you talking about? Like, how you sold yourself for more of this junk? I don't get it. Nah. So anyway, they did that, so they made this possible for us. And so the hack is, oh, I'm Christian. Acts 5 in the Bible, have to give everything to God, or else you literally die. So this trust does that. I'm just trustee. It's all back to God. Hey, I don't want to be here. It's all yours. And that's true. If God created everything, it's like, well, it's yours anyway. Okay, so that's the way the Christian loophole works. And then once that is in place, right? Then you do all your money through the trust and everything. There's no, well, what about my money? You never had any money. Oh, nothing, control everything. There's
Right.
only corporations. There's a person. There's an LLC. There's a C corp. There's a nonprofit. There's a trust. There's an estate. Tell me if I missed anything. Anyway, you see, those are like, oh, these are the monopoly players. You can't get on the monopoly board and run around that thing. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't work that way. You have a little game piece going in the game system, and that's a business. You see what I'm saying? So you don't use, like, you get this trust has a special 501c3 status. It's a nonprofit status, but it does a report. Okay, that's fantastic. Don't pay taxes, doesn't fill out a tax form. I've been working for year after year after year. All right. uh and then, so once you get that completed, on the flip side, that business called the Pershing or Strawman or whatever, use that as a vacuum cleaner for all the free stuff. And that's what this show is about, all the free stuff. So that's what makes it happen. That's a mechanism, the legal mechanism, the government supports it, makes it all possible. Oh, and you're like, the same thing happened to me. I was like, wait a minute. Okay, the government is doing something evil with this, but it's sort of like the government did something good by leaving it possible that we could use it. It's like
Right.
you did so much evil that you had to leave a good opening. It's like, okay, well, you're not good, but that's better than only evil, I guess. Sort of, And so, okay, looking on the bright side, we can do this. You follow what I'm saying? It's the law. So your straw man, your person, that's you. Your driver's license. No, it's a piece of plastic. It's a business, has a 9-digit number, like
Hmm.
an EIN. They don't call it EIN. It's a social security, but it's the same number. And it has a name. So that's a business, right? And so that piece of paper isn't you.
Right.
So they said, well, you. It's like, yeah, but you could say you all you want because you is just half a W, right? So that's part of we. So that's the way they think of it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, we're playing a little put me under a spell game. It's like, actually, let me take a whoop. I'm going to throw that right back on you with my pen and I'll take the money. You see what I'm saying? Because your person, you don't have a bank account for the person, doesn't have anything anymore, stuff like that. And so
Right.
that's the hack. Give me all your free stuff. When you got an EBT, with your free health insurance, free housing, just on down the list, all their free stuff. People like, man, they're giving the immigrants everything. That what? What everything? What do you? Well, this sets you up so if there's anything to get, any free thing at any place where you are, you can go get it because your person has Zippo, nothing, nada. You see, and that's how it gets qualified. It doesn't have anything. So yeah, it's an immigrant. Hey, I'm out here on the street, got nothing. Holy, what do you got out there? That's the law. And so that, oh, the immigrants are exploiting. Is it, oh, am I an immigrant? Is that, oh, Ibby? Okay, I don't, whatever you want to call me, I'm an accountant. And I'm just following your rules, and I'm teaching people because you stole everything from us, and you use these methods to do it. So these methods are legal to use to get what you can back from them. And that's
Right.
what I teach. Not just not paying money. That's step one. Gotcha there. Like the title of the show, like Tim put up, where's the free stuff? You see?
Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, or if this is just to well, we don't like the government anyway. But if your trust owns your house and you go to get Section 8 housing and your trust gets approved to get the rent that you get approved for in your Section 8 housing, can your trust get paid your Section 8 credits? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. No, you don't want to put them straight together like that. Hey, thanks for
Right.
the,
Why don't you pay for my house?
No, when you go to the medical dispensary for weed, you don't get to smoke it right then, right? Like,
Right.
oh yeah, well, yes. No, I'm just saying, as that's I would recommend not to do that. But you don't have to do that.
Right.
There are plenty of ways to do it that is not that way. What I'm saying is, you all qualify. Everything goes into trust, so your person doesn't get anything. So you're like, what? I can have a business and I pay IRS? Yes, anyone.
Right.
Yeah. Business and personal stuff goes away. So yeah, you run a business online, offline, as long as you're not doing anything illegal. It's like, well, I'll just sell drugs. They know that's not going to work out. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? But as long as you're doing everything legal, this is their loophole that you just didn't notice was happening. And I noticed. I was like, oh, let me copy you, and then
Mm,
and not be evil. And they're like, copy us and not be evil. That's not copying us.
right.
It's like, yeah, I noticed that part, but I mean, I'll use the paperwork, and no, they're like, okay, fine. So no, it's completely. This is legal. This is the way it's done, and you don't want to connect them straight up like that. Oh, here, well, we got somebody. We got a couple here. The Benson's. This is a funny one. Sorry, I'm already
Mhm.
laughing. I'm trying to be straight on this. Thanks, dance, fine art. Okay. Let me try it. John, hey John, question. The Benson's Spendthrift Trust says it. They have proof of being tested. What thoughts do you have about it? How it compares? Uh yeah, I mean, a Spendthrift Trust, any other like type of trust that is like, no, it's this type of trust. Uh First of all, that is the most complicated, most weirdest gobbledygook you ever heard in your life. And I ain't seen nobody's. Let's see, what have I put on unredacted on YouTube? My passport, my social security card and total number, and driver's license, all unredacted, and all my proof of all my wins, my non-disclosure agreements for the bankers, my court documents, court records, all my wins, losses I started for more than a decade. I'm just saying. And then we have all the dozens of testimonials from so many people at Liberty Aid Academy. So actually, Liberty Aid Academy is the only place where proof exists because I've never found it anywhere else. This is not an ego trip saying that. I am saying, like, to have this discussion ever, and this comes up every week, like into the classroom and so on. And I'm not sure why. This is a good question, but it tells me how deep the mind control programming is. It's like you can't listen to someone if they don't have proof that they've done what they say they have done. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what humans do. They go, "Oh my God, look, here's the cure. Look what I did. Look at the outcome. Outcome being, look, I paid zero taxes, or look, I got an EBT card. Look, I did this. Look, I got out of court. Look, I got out of taxes. Look, all these things. You see what I'm saying? There's so many proofs that that can exist. So many, because I got hundreds is not even the right amount now. Thousands of proofs, videos, thousands,
Hmm.
probably, yeah, thousands of videos with proof. You see what I'm saying? Thousands and dozens of testimonies with notarized affidavits. So, uh, yeah, saying you have proof is no. We say we have proof. It's like that doesn't matter.
Right.
You put up the proof, and then you have the proof, or you don't have the proof. So it's always that stuff. The Spendthrift Trust say they have been tested. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that I got that over and over. I got you. Does that help answer the question, Dance Fine Art? I hope that cures that. Saying you have proof and having proof. That's like,
Right.
I mean, then I have to explain this every single week of my life, and for a long time, every day of my life. Uh, Still boggles my mind. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there, that's what ultimately led me to the pattern of what's really going on, because it's like, how could I have to explain this every single day of my life and nobody goes, oh yeah, you're right, proof, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
you would think the odd someone would be like, oh, they had a good story, but most everyone would be like, oh yeah, I saw the proof and so on. It's crazy that humans are, just trained never to even have the thought of proof. I guess this comes from fairy tales. You just hear all these stories, and you're like, "That's the better story." Yes, I don't,
Wow.
I'm an accountant. I can't go that. I'm a trained auditor. I can't go. You know what? You had the best story. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna put that in the accounting records here. He had the best story, so I went with their accounting numbers. Okay, no, we can't. We can't. That's not the way accounting works. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I don't go for it. But this never ends in my life, ever, ever. There's never some. It's almost to an individual that come to the school. Almost. Uh, they see proof and they're like, "Oh my god, it's proof!" And they have a reaction and they become a student. But so many others are like, it's they're in here like talking about these other things. But like, wait a second, we're doing proof here. Trying to say it nicely. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. The place we
Well,
find ourselves. What is that old CIA clip? And that guy is like, whenever when we have told the Americans that everything is a lie and they believe it, we win. I mean, it's something like that.
right.
Yeah, that's our government that we're supposed to like. It's like, yeah, the military budget is working, but for whom? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you have such a large military. Who are you really concerned about? Like me or people like me?
Right.
Yeah, no, not other countries. I mean, North Korea, that can't exist. That's like every single North Korean everything is like CGI, but like from the 80s pixelation. You're like, is that? It's like, I guess nobody's looking or something. It's just, they don't even care anymore. Well, what? We're just buying souls. Anybody want a house? We don't even use realtors anymore. Practically, we're just like, who wants a house? BlackRock, if you go down to BlackRock and we'll get you a house. Just
Yeah.
absolutely,
That's what it's
and
turning into.
yeah, it is. It is. It's just sell your souls, get a house. It's becoming obvious, becoming a joke. They're putting like the economy out of business that only was superficial anywhere. The fake economy is still running full tilt.
Lee's in the house says, have you ever counted the violations they have committed on one of your accounts? I'm going to guess at least 5. And then more of that is, I'm teaching my 9-year-old all the details of your constitution and the critical documents. It's very eye opening to have this knowledge and then refresh the memory.
Absolutely. And I would go read I read China's you know deck trust document. It's online. You can go read it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Or even than the US is, not that they follow them completely or nothing like that, but they gotta write something down, you know what I mean? We're
Hmm.
gonna write this junk down. Just to remind ourselves not to be you know what? It's like a marketing plan. It's like we're not evil. We have these rules that we totally follow. It's like, yeah, no, you make us follow them, but you never do. That's rules are for the slaves, and they don't have to follow them. So, uh, that is how the income we trust works, and the Constitution. A trust has three main parts: a declaration of trust, a corpus, and what I'm not remembering. But and I'm sorry, to form a trust, you have a declaration of trust, and then and the reason I keep that very not limited, like the spendthrift trust question that they just posted over and over again. But uh, so the reason I don't put any limits in it, so it can be, just anything and it's just signed to God. But if you, where was I? Come on, put me back on track here. I lost my
The
my
the
thread.
the framework of a trust.
Ah, so the corpus is you form it, yes, and that's a declaration of trust, like declaration of independence, and then okay, if you want to expand on the rules without changing the original document's rules, you see what I'm saying? Then you add to it, and that's an act, they call it, or whatever. But that's ultimately the Constitution is called a corpus. That's a part of a trust that is like a more detailed set of rules and regulations, basically, instead of you know, uh, the more like general principles. It's more like rules and regulations, sort of. Although there can be rules and regulations, definitely in the declaration, and there are. It's just like these are the details of how we'll run it. This is what we decided, and so whoever is filling that role in the trust will do it according to those dictates. And so it's very the opposite of freedom. You know what I'm saying? Here are all these super many rules and stuff like that. In other words, the ego we trust doesn't trust anyone. It
Yeah.
works for it, that it oversees anything. Has super many crazy rules that no one can follow, and the books never end. The IRS rule, it never ends. And it's impossible to follow, actually. Which gives them total and complete control. And they're like, well, you broke this rule. It's like, what rule? The one that we're not going to tell you. It's like, okay, what law did I break? The one that I'm gonna write down sometime when I let you know what it is, and I don't even know what. I just was supposed to come down here and bring you over here. I don't know what. I don't know. They. I mean, if you're if you're police, it's like, oh, because I asked them, oh, are you law enforcement officer? And like, yeah. It's like, you look like, you could take an artillery shell with what you're wearing. Okay.
Mhm.
A little scared, a little nervous over that. Very good, very good. Uh, Law enforcement, you say. I was like, okay, so you're a law expert. Can you recite to me one law? Just its number and just recite. I'm sure you have them all memorized because you're a law enforcement officer, so you have them all memorized. So, uh, just one. Just can you recite to me one law? You know what I mean? Prove to
Mhm.
me. You said you're a law enforcement officer, so you have to know a law to enforce them. I mean, just get real. They don't even know a single law. You see what I'm saying? They don't. They couldn't be like, oh, I got this one by rote. How you have to? How can you enforce a law if you don't know what they are? Then you're just enforcing the orders you're giving it if you're not enforcing laws. And that's what they do, is my point. So, using these money hacks that we have here, this is what we have to put a roof over our head and pay the bills and feed our family and stuff like that. This is the way that we're kind of forced to do it. And it's according to their script, the script, whatever. Christians don't get to have anything. So, okay, that follows the script. It's over in the trust. I still got a debit card. I work for God. Okay. But I don't pay the IRS anymore. That's fantastic. And there are all these loopholes to get money back. So we all need that now. It's very difficult out there financially. I mean, if my life is anyone like anyone else's, it's like ridiculous out there. One side of the line or the other. Sell your soul or you don't get anything. That's pretty much where we're headed. I think everyone can see that. So the sooner you get ahead of this thing and do these things that I teach. No taxes, and it cut basically what happens. It cuts way down on your expenses and boosts the money coming in. You see what I'm saying? Low. I'm an accountant. Lower your expenses and raise your revenue. That's what this does. That's what we need. And it's not a, oh yeah, I lowered my expenses this month and I raised my revenue, but next month, no. This is a permanent hack. Okay. This is every month forever. As you lowering your expenses and raising your revenue forever. And the government, the free stuff they give out, it's like, well, inflation is going up, it's going up. They're, I'm not saying they're totally keeping with it, but in other words, what you get this month is to be more next month.
Right.
So at least it's headed in the right direction. So the more you do with this stuff, the more it pays back. It's extremely practical. I take up the least amount of your time. I teach these things in videos where I'm like a little box, you know what I mean? I'm like, in this little tiny section, put this word, and this is why. Teach you exactly how to do it.
Legends of leaving a legacy. Here we go. Trick question. If my license is suspended from a non-ticket payment, how do I get my license reinstated when it's in collections? Trying to start from scratch again because we lost everything from the flood in Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, yes. Sarasota too, so I get it. That's not a trick question. Here's the thing: if they're holding up something with a debt, the government they just are not going to give it to you. So there's no way to get rid of that debt that way. That's it's not a trick thing. That's a trick about them, and that's why people end up, trying uh, spiritual technology to overcome their, you know, I don't know, Hitler technology, whatever you want to, strong man with a gun technology, like slavery. I don't know what you want to call it, but that's why people are ultimately search for God and like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
God is the only help here, and that's why I'm always working on that cutting edge technology because of exactly what you say. What I can't drive. Whose country is this? You work for me. How are you saying I can't drive in my country? What are you talking about? It's supposed to be my country. It's supposed to be free. Where's the free stuff? I teach you how to get free stuff. They don't. They teach you, oh, it's bad to get free stuff. Well, that's how you got all your stuff. You got it for free. You stole it from us. How's it bad? Oh, hold on a second.
Somebody else has a question there back there.
Merlin, hold on a second. All right, Merlin. He's like, "Where's my doorman?" Is man, sometimes I gotta yell for my doorman. Okay, Merlin. Merlin is in the other room. Thank you, everyone.
Very good. Lee back with, I find it difficult to deal with the Matrix employees. Any suggestions? I have a hard time not losing my cool with them. Yeah.
Understood. But you really have to understand their predicament and why it exists and so on. It's such a deep spiritual level to overcome that. Honestly, it's the final thing or whatever you know how to call it. If you could forgive your enslaver, you win. You see what I'm saying? If they were doing it so that you could overcome them by coming to God, and that's the only reason for existence itself, and they know that they're playing the enemy, our adversary, and so on. There can't be a game for your soul and so on if we don't have someone to overcome, you
Mm-hmm.
know? That's the way it is. And they're actually, they have a predetermined script that never changes. It continues every time. So they're not creative. They're not thinkers. They're, they have knowledge and powers that we don't have. So that makes them seem super intelligent and strong and blah, blah, blah. That's the opposite of the case. You know, they're doing exactly what they're told to do, and they're same thing every lifetime, and it never changes. I mean, it's like that's the definition of hell right there, I think, for me. But for them, that's just what it is. It's why and you're like, why are they doing that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's for us. See, they're doing this horrible stuff. And this is you have to look into this is the I'm talking about what they believe in, like the Kabbalah, you know what I mean? If you create darkness in duality, which was where we find ourselves up, down, on, off, right? Jesus and the devil, like man, woman, right? Dry, wet, like this whole thing. Uh, Here in duality, the let's create evil, and that will ultimately produce good here.
Hmm.
Someone will have a reaction, and it will create someone that will overcome us. Because someone will ultimately realize we can't beat them and need God's help, sign up with God and overcome them. And that's what we do here. Like that's the only way to solve this incredibly difficult situation
Right.
you know and so how I overcome them. I was talking about, okay.
So Lee's adding, I had a revelation while drafting my first mailing. Do they have any authority to operate with dollars? They're commingling
Yes, you
with
saw that information in the writing that I had. Yes, the we trust is not registered anywhere except for in Pennsylvania, not as a bank or a currency creator or anything like that. So they're just doing a
right.
whole bunch of stuff that I guess anyone could do. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But it turns out they are the only ones doing it. But uh, so no, I'm glad you're having that realization. But back to my other point, is a really deep question what you asked. Like, it really is because uh, I was talking about overview. Okay, like here's the big picture. But technologically, where you're right in front of them to overcome them, you should be saying God's name silently because they can read your mind. And yeah, I know some people don't believe me, but here's the thing: if a sixth sense of reading people's mind was something you had the ability to do super easily, would it? If you lost that ability, you would have a reaction, right? Like if you were standing in the supermarket, you're like, "Oh, I'm going to check out" or whatever. You went blind, you would have a reaction. It wouldn't be like, "Oh, I'm going to keep about my day" or whatever. Nah, not at all. So this is worse than being blind for them. You follow me? So this technology, you will see, Lee, works every time because I've done this a lot. So we sign our trust with Jesus Christ. So what you do when you get near him, right, is you start silently saying that name of God over and over, and they're not allowed to read your mind.
Hmm.
Period. It works every time. And so, and at the end of your interaction with them, because what are they doing in front of you? They're testing you to see if you could be trusted in God's presence and not be pissed at them. You know what I mean?
Right.
For being the Disney characters. It's like that Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna kill Mickey Mouse. It's like no, you can't. You can't come out of Disney World like that. I'm gonna. That's when I say we should kill them and stuff, like no, God's gonna kill them. Obviously, they deserve it.
Right.
But we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. None of that stuff. But at the end, you realize, oh man, what, this was a game, and you all knew every single detail. What? That's that's almost too much to take in. That is run for a game for you to win your soul. It's like, oh wait, that you were forgot. Oh wait, what? This whole thing happens sort of at the end of the game where you're like, oh okay, you forgive the devil and all the little evil minions because you know you can't have Disney World without the employees,
Right.
they're the ones in the Mickey costume, like Trump, and also, the other ones with the like, hey, I got my whatever purple and black and weird outfit on, and here's your slushy. Oh, you spilled another one on me. Great, you know, like handing out food for, here's your $30 drink, sucker. Here you go. Yeah, that pavement's pretty dark. Here you go. Another one about 6 yards down, right down there. Okay. So, yeah, that's where we are in Disney World. And we're doing this for a reason. And we're being tested so that at the end, you're saying a name. And at the end of your interaction, you say, oh, hey, may you earn your feathers and wings. Because that's actually what's happening. And if they
Hmm.
don't get a Yelp review from us, you know they didn't get anything from the interaction, and that's the only chance they're going to have maybe in their lifetime
Right.
is interact with someone that's signed with the trust and get a Yelp review, which will actually boost them. So you have to know enough to say that God's name, and then oh, you're doing great, or everyone's forgiven you. I say this to them, may
Yeah.
you're in the feathers and wings, and they're like, Have a nice day, sir. I'm telling you, they get nicer. They
Right.
get nicer. They get nicer. That's how to make them nicer because you totally get the understanding of the game and their role in it. And so, what do they have to teach you anymore? Right?
Right. Right.
They don't have nothing, and you win the game. And so that's how. It's the hardest part of it. I still joke about burning them all on the 6 o'clock news. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's let it out a little. Let's air this thing out some more.
I
Like it's
have a
horrible.
I have a friend who has a saying. I haven't adopted it yet, but it's a good one. He basically just says, "May you have the day you deserve," because everyone thinks they deserve, a day at the beach, right? But if you just say, "May you have the day you deserve," but what I think you deserve could be something completely opposite from what they think they deserve. So,
Oh,
I always thought that was a good one. He goes, "May you have the day you deserve,"
oh my God.
and
Wouldn't
and
that be
that's
the
it.
best if karma was always happening in one day? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Sometimes it does within the day, but that's like a prayer. Hey, God, let's just shorten it up. I want to help them out. It
yeah.
was, man, that's quite, I love it. I love it.
So Legends is back, going to open a trust within the next few days. Finally, have some money saved up since the flood. We got a new lease today for 4,500. Later, any recommendations on rent payments from here on out? Just started a new job to start over and get reestablished. It's 2K a month, and there's more. Looking to start buying your books and getting this process going.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
quite a list.
yeah,
So we're gonna need as what's gonna happen if you sign the trust, even before right now, we're gonna need God's help. You see what I'm saying? Like it's those numbers don't work out, so God is gonna have to work that out for us. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
no, I say prayer, God watch over you. Name Jesus Christ to help you. Man, Sarasota, boy, it's tough here. Uh
Lee says, I'll make a point just to bless their socks off. And then she says, that's a good one. She's going to write down, may you have the day you deserve. There you go.
And that's actually a true deep understanding when speaking to a fallen angel and them saying that to you is understanding that in the end of the game, it all does, the cross, Jesus Christ, is an accounting symbol of debits and credits. What are you
Hmm.
talking about? It's saying karma's real, but it's also saying the underlying law, dharma, also called common law, is real.
Right.
That's all it's saying, and that's all you're saying, and that's where we are with this trust. It's like, okay, I'm gonna sign it. I don't trust you guys anymore. Like, you're buying how many guns and bombs and stuff? I mean, what? There's
Right.
like, I just walked by. I don't even know how many homeless. Do you know how many homeless people there are? You need more guns and bombs. I don't even. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, what do you? And it's not like the US, like all you in cahoots everywhere. It's not one place or nothing like that. I could just help people from here. This all works here, here at the belly of the beast. I was born in that city state. That's what the paperwork says. Washington, D.C. George Washington Hospital. Not kidding.
Mm.
So anyway, it's like, oh well, let me put down some light next to the shadow there. It's like, oh, what, me? That ain't no what? That's all we got up in here? Okay, you must be pretty something, God. If you'd be like, no, I'm gonna show you through this guy. That's how tough I am. Like, everyone's like, could he more hair or something? I don't know, like a cute girl or so. Could he? What are you doing, God? It's like, no, I can even do it through this guy. That'll make it think. See, I can do everybody.
Right.
And I think that's what it is. I'm not really, there's nothing that I have as an attribute that's like super much better and different, and anything I have or done, or no, it's not like that.
Right.
Anyone can do what I've done. Is why this works for literally every single individual that comes to the school. No one is like, oh man, I didn't get the trust of it. No, what? No, works for everyone. All the
Hmm.
hacks, they work. It's just and I'm doing a mentor thing on Mondays at noon, and it's weekly. It's the mentor subscription on YouTube. I'm getting it all ready for the helicopter money. You gotta get in there. I mean, obviously, right? They're calling it money box this time. Just take out the K's, baby. Monkeypox. That's what. Take out the K's. Come on, everybody. I
Right.
should I should be on the commercial for monkeypox. Take out the K's. That should be a rap. I should get a rap song for that. Take out the K's.
Lee says it's beautiful work, Jack. So we'll put together not so much, easy to bite off, however much I want. Yep. Yeah. Follow along with the training. It's very easy, step by step. Um,
It is the basics form of foundation, paperwork, and principles that you can bring to every situation. It's because our adversary, again, has information and abilities that we just weren't told about. And it's like, oh, well, we can do that too. It's like, oh,
right.
you know, we just didn't know stuff. And I know I got the documents. It's our adversaries are what? They're not intelligent. No, they're not. If they were intelligent, they would sign the trust like you and live like do what you're doing. But they're not. They didn't do that. So they're not hyper intelligent. They have information and methods that we can use, and that we use them, and we're okay. So it's not that they're more intelligent. They're more intelligent at lying as a group somehow, and not. It's just not a human trait. It's weird.
Hmm.
But once we found out about it, it's like once you put on the glasses, it's like, oh my god, you're evil. What are you thing? Ah! You start screaming when you see that. Look at what are them things. They don't have a heart. It's like
Yeah.
in the temple, in the heart, in heaven and heart, HEA, right? HEAV, heaven and the heart. That's where you connect. They don't have one. They're heartless.
Right.
They don't. Oh, 82-year-old dude didn't pay his mortgage. Everybody get down there and steal that house and kill him if you have to. Okay, all right. See you later. Bye. Like what? That ain't no government that I'm gonna ever rally behind.
Right.
Like, yeah, no, I'm vegetarian mostly. I don't want a hot dog on the fire at the Capitol, but no, I bought a vegan one here. Yeah, no, I'll roast it.
Travis Fleming in the house. When signing trust documents, do you use your beneficiary signature, or does it matter?
Yeah, how to sign and stuff is I'm very crazy, super clear on that in video. Man, am I clear on that? But there's a proper way to sign. But no, you're never going to sign as a beneficiary, and it would be, you would only name a beneficiary really if you probably have a child, your actual child, age 18 or under, is probably there could be some other rare circumstances to name a beneficiary, but you don't have to name a beneficiary. So it's a signature as a trustee. Okay. If that makes sense, Travis, you sign as trustee, and in the documents and in the training, how you start the trust, I'm extremely clear. It's not complex, and that's the way you'll sign everything from that on. So it's not complex at all. And I give you the principles as why to do that and so on. So I unravel all that stuff. It's not complex, and you'll never change it. You have one signature, and that's it forever. So now, the principles of why it happened, that's important. The way you sign is really as trustee, don't name a beneficiary, and there's some other uh, parts of a signature where you should sign like a lawyer does, because they work an agency for people. So you're an agent working for a trust. You see what I'm saying? It's not you. It's like, you know, and the same way you sign for your person. It's not you. You've cleared that dust off your thinking, and you're shining as an agent for it. So no, we have all that information, but it's simple. They're doing it. It's the technology that they use in the system. I'm an accountant. I was like, oh, okay, I'm an auditor. That's how you do it. Okay, do it that way, and then it works.
Right.
uh if you see it many times over and over and over, oh, this is how you all sign to do this. Okay, that's how you sign. And then I do it myself. It works, and that's it. Then I pass on technology information after I do it myself and prove that it works myself. That's how I do it. So Hope that's clear on that point. Good question. Good question. There's a lot to untangle with the trust, and we do that too with the training. Just simple points of this is what a trustee is. It's simple definitions, and that kind of information is in there too. But it's not long. It's just the basics, and that's all you need. So we have that information too. Comes with your coursework. And
Uh,
it's on sale this weekend, so only this weekend because your labor matters to Liberty and Academy. Don't matter to the government; they want to steal. I mean, it matters to them, but they want to steal it. I don't want any part of it, right? I want you to keep it for the rest of your life. So get this coursework and keep the money.
Travis saying thank you very much.
Good question, Travis.
Excellent.
Thanks for stopping by. Look
Now,
forward to your student.
right here, Jack, I put up the YouTube link, youtube.com/Liberty8 Academy /membership. Is This one's not on sale? It's the other courses work that's are on
Yeah,
for Labor
yeah.
Day.
We can't make this for sale. This is a
Right.
YouTube membership thing here, Scotta. Can't give it away. We can't discount. We can't do any of those things. It's a that's but the Mastery Trust here. This one. This is all of our courses. All of our courses, which are discounted at 75% or more
Right.
already. We're doing another 20% off this weekend only.
Excellent.
So because your labor matters to me, it matters to your family, your time, right? Labor's like, oh, I use my time for money. Your time needs to be less out there and more with you and your family. That's it matters to me. So that's why we're doing this discount on this Labor Day because your family matters to me. You matter. So let's get back some of that time, money, and all that stuff, and less purview over our lives and all that. Let's do that this weekend. You could do the trust in a weekend. Go to the bank after the bank
Yep.
holiday and start it right after. And that's it. You can totally prepare easily and still do all your parties and everything. Plenty of time. This don't take long to do.
It doesn't take long, and
Hours.
again, it's step by step, so it's
Yeah.
easy to pick up and put down depending on your schedule. But yeah, the link is there inside the chat. If anybody wants to click on that, you'll get to the trust and the bundle. It's a great deal. I have it myself and have been using it for a long time. So, and I'm setting up my son who just started a new job with his home trust, and so it's exciting stuff. You can help your family out with this immensely. Make sure they're all trustworthy, as Jack says.
Right. That's my favorite thing I ever hear, honestly, just being straight up. When one family member has got the next generation,
Yep.
they already got the information and they're already using it. That's my favorite thing to do. That's why I really, it's on lock from that. It's like, I got a family free, yay,
Yep.
because I get to, at some point I'm gonna be up. God's gonna be like, check your numbers. I'm like, you know what? I did as best as I could. I got some families. That's all I care about. So no, the more people help, that's what we're doing here. More people help. That's just works for, like I was saying. Pray for them. This is the way it comes back on my karma, right? This works. So
That's right.
if you do it, then that comes back on my karma. Yes, your family gets better. And that helps me. So that's why I'm here in service. Yay. Helps
Now
us both.
you're not going live for the Monday membership. You're not going live on Monday Labor Day, are you?
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm doing live on that Monday at noon thing last Monday of the month. Definitely that's live. The other
Okay.
ones are canned videos, usually giving you step-by-step instructions. This is like
And they
no
go out to
time
the membership.
wasting. Here's what we're gonna do to get the helicopter ready. We don't have time. They're taking up all our time. So I'm making this short to the point and let's do this thing. So
Excellent. Travis asking, the Master Trust package is pretty much everything you have to offer, and this is going to be 20% off. Yes.
that's it, Travis, for only
So
this weekend.
that's the link right there. Hit that link, Travis, and you'll get that. And if you have any other questions, I do have that. This is contact at liberty8academy.org.
And you could write that email too, be like, "Hey, Tammy," that's Tammy's front line here, back
Yep.
line, and she's great. She does all this work herself and has all her testimonial proof. Anyway, if you email her, hey, I hear this is on sale. Where do I get it? But here's where you would get it, where Tim is saying. So it'll be on sale at some point in the middle of the night or start tomorrow or something like that. Okay.
Yeah,
If
just
it is,
follow along the weekend. Yep.
yeah.
Excellent. Well, that brings us to Thursday night before Labor Day weekend. Thank you very much, Jack. Enjoy your weekend, and I hope everybody realizes how valuable this trust is, and to have it on sale makes it even more so.
Have a great weekend yourself, Tim, with your family, everyone else. Have a
Yes.
wonderful, some time off from your labors with your family. Okay. Have a wonderful weekend. See you next week, next Thursday.
Enjoy.